help you make money. You know what's funny? You guys all have a business mindset, you just don't know it. How many of you guys got credit cards?
No.
Leverage. Right? Ladies, I know I don't got the money, but somebody does. You know what I mean? I get paid next month. Leverage. How many of you guys got student loans? Leverage. I just got mine forgiven though. Thanks, Justin, by the way. So, we all have a purpose in why we do what things that we do, right? Why do we go to work?
Make money.
Make money.
Not enough bills. Pay your bills.
Pay your bills.
Feed your kids.
Feed your kids, right? We have reasons why we do things, right? We do them because those things hurt us if they're not done.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right? Man, the stories we have in this are definitely just heart-wrenching to hear. You know, I definitely have a big reason why I do it. I have 2 beautiful little girls at home that are never going to go to daycare. They're not even going to know what daycare is. I was a daycare kid. That food's nasty. The kids are horrible. And they don't watch you, right? That was one of my biggest reasons why I do what I do. But we have somebody who's going to go and share their testimonial with you. And this gentleman, it's so funny. I love this business because in this business, people become strangers, then they become friends, and then they end up becoming family members.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's
Right? This gentleman, I mean, literally has been at every birthday party that my daughter has had. Well, she only had 2, so she'll be on 3rd one. Like, she's old, right?
Everybody.
You know, every family event. You know, my parents know him as the stash, you know, when he comes around. You know, him and his beautiful wife, they always come over our house, kids play together. I mean, talk about the type of friends that we have now compared to the other friends I had before.
Hello.
You don't realize how poisoning some of your friends are. Like, man, my friends were broke, busted, and disgusted. You know? Now my friends come in and it's like, it sounds like a bell, cha-ching, every time they walk in. It's like money. I'm telling you, my friends just got that mindset, that winning mindset. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about the winning mindset of that rich lifestyle, that rich mindset, right? So, the gentleman I'm going to bring up here today, definitely great story. And he's going to break down the specifics on how you should write down your why. How you should proceed, how to build your business in the right mindset. And again, I said this gentleman is definitely killing it. He has grown now international businesses straight from his phone at home with his little boy. About to be 2 years old here coming up soon, right? So I want you guys to stand up and I want you to give it for Jacob Tidwell, the Stash.
Wow, guys. Give it up for Shelly Wilson, you guys. She's killing it up here. Guys, real quick, if there's an open seat next to you, if you could scoop, in so some of these standing room guys can come get a chair. So just close the gaps, let everybody sit down. I guess first rule I just realized is don't try and follow J-Will. That was some energy right there, man. Goodness. So, guys, I'm not used to holding the mic. I'm a drummer, so if I were saying backups, this thing was like over here, I'll be like this all the time, kind of getting my vocals in. But I'm going to rock with this because I want to get some really clear stuff put out there for you, and it's an honor and a privilege to be speaking today. A lot of the content that I have, actually, I've learned over the last 2 years from that back panel. From knowing nothing to paying attention to gentlemen like Logan Shippey, Anthony Napolitano, Rick Roberry, Robin Mansell, J-Will Wilson, and Shelly. You guys, the list nests. I mean, the list goes on and on. If you pay attention to these people and you do what they do, you definitely can't have what they have. You got to be taking notes. You got to be grabbing these nuggets and you got to be applying them because they're, as Logan says, it's secret knowledge. And this secret knowledge can be applied, and if you apply it, it truly is powerful and it can produce you an amazing income. So I'm ridiculously excited about what J-Will just presented. Obviously, we've had this in place for, a good minute now, and the new stuff coming out right now, people are like, man, I wish, I would have got in, earlier. I see all this massive momentum now and success. Literally getting in right now, if you're not in the company, it's perfect. And if you're in the company and you're lagging, right now, relaunching is perfect because we have exactly what we've been asking for
Yes, sir.
the whole time.
Yep.
So it's very, very powerful, very powerful. So You know, I'm hearing from people globally that are so they're elevated and they're so excited. And you know, we're a little bit of a somewhat jaded society over here, and I feel like we really need to get our energy level, you know, up more and more and more, because I hear guys outside of the country that are just blowing this up. And I was on the phone with a gentleman in Australia yesterday, and they're talking, you know, to major, you know, groups of people, and what we have, nobody has. So you gotta remember that this is an unprecedented time, unprecedented opportunity, and what we can do with this is monumental. So I'm super excited. So just a little background on myself. I only have 20 minutes. Jay will said to cut off because I can go like an hour up here. So I want to do that. But I'm gonna try and bring value in a compact, you know, package. So here's what's going on, you guys. Basically 2 years ago, I had no idea about the industry of network marketing. I had no idea about the industry of trading Forex. And I knew I always wanted to get involved, you know, in the market some way, somehow, like everybody else, I guess. You know, you realize somewhere down the road, I'm going to have to, you know, get my money making money, the whole retirement concepts, you know, being able to do what you want earlier than later, stuff like that. Well, I had a remarkable, you know, stint as a musician. You know, I got to travel the world 3 times over. I got to basically tour as a drummer across the globe, from Japan to, you know, Germany to Spain to the Netherlands, you know, across the United States. And it left me with a great amount of experiences and just realization of the culture and the flavors of the world. And when I came back to the States and when I came back to the normal, basically, lifestyle, I realized it wasn't going to be, you know, enough to go work a normal job. But something happened. I became a father, you know, and I'm going to start talking basically about my why. And that's what this piece is actually all about, is your why. And again, I'm going to be pulling some nuggets from the people that I've learned from. So if you hear something repeated that you guys have said prior, it's because I paid attention.
Yeah, buddy.
And so,
right.
and I believed it, and it actually works. So, you guys, I started working in the corporate field, and I was making decent money, and I was on my way to, you know, the upper management and all that stuff. I was working for UPS actually, and I hated it. You know, bottom line, I didn't have any time freedom. I was literally unhappy going to work, and then I was grumpy after leaving work, and it just wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted to live, regardless of the paycheck that was attached. So I wasn't seeing my son. I was leaving for work before, you know, he woke up, and then when I was coming home, I was getting ready for basically him to go to bed. And that's not the kind of father I wanted to be, okay? My mom was an RN nurse, and my dad was in law enforcement, and they had the craziest schedules ever. And I just, you know, I saw at a young age, like, that really wasn't the family life I wanted to have. So if you've ever seen that in your family, or you see families like that, we're trying to make ends meet, and that's the problem, though, is that ends don't meet. That's why they're called ends. Okay, so you have to be doing something different, right, to get something different. And I didn't realize that. And Jacob said to me, you know, right early on when we first met, he said, Jacob said, if nothing changes, nothing changes. You know, and so I had to get really a mindset, a philosophy going on, a personal development philosophy, and really grow myself in order to grow my paycheck. So I got involved, you guys. I sat down with these gentlemen. I saw the vision. I saw what they had going on, and my mind was blown. You know, what they had put together, what wealth generators had put together, and the people mainly that I was working with, they taught me a lot about who I was going to grow to be, to become, you know, the type of father, the type of husband, and the type of entrepreneur that I wanted to be. So taking advantage of that and reaching out to my network of people, it was an important deal. If I was going to put my name on something, if I was going to really represent something like I had done with my music, it was going to have to hit me right here. You know, it was going to have to be something that not only made sense, which makes dollars, but it also had to be something that I could stand behind and you know, have the correct, you know, ethics behind, and something I really believed in, something that was going to really benefit people. And I think that's what everyone's looking for, is this going to benefit the people that I take it to and myself? And so it does, and that's what's great. And as Rick Roberry says, we just got it right, you know, and I love that. And people hear that, and they really respect that. So that's as much as I want to go into my story. Over the last 2 years, I've paid very close attention to these leaders, and I've taken myself to the next level, paying attention and watching them, and mirroring them. Just like we mirror the market experts, I've been mirroring these mentors, and you guys, they've paved the path. They've done it for us already. If you just literally pay attention and do what they do, and you're serious about it, and you have what I'm going to get to right now, a strong why, then the sky's not even the limit. The sky's the launching pad, okay? We really have something remarkable right here, right now. So I'm here. My piece actually today is to talk about your why, okay? And everybody knows, if you've been in this industry at all, your why is crucial to your success.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, your why stands for what hurts you, right? If your why doesn't make you cry, you need a new why. If your why doesn't make you fly, as Ness says, you need a new why, all right? Your why basically comes down to 2 categories, you guys. This is very cool because you have your desire category and you have your desperation category. Okay? And what that means basically is you desire to have things in your life. You desire to have better things, right? I was at a point in my life where, I owned a nice home, owned a nice car, 2 cars. And so the kind of general American dream, but I desired more, and that's okay. I want everyone just to realize that it's okay to want more, and we can go get it, and we all deserve it. Okay, that's a big thing. A lot of us limit ourselves in that regard. So on the desire category, you want more for your kids, you want more for your mom maybe, you want more for the people around you. And then there's also the desperation side though, and this is actually a little more powerful. You get to almost like reverse engineer your why. Instead of something you're going after, it's something you need to get away from. Okay, and that is the average lifestyle. The average lifestyle where you're stuck. You're stuck doing the things you don't want to do, working for somebody you don't want to work for, making a paycheck. That isn't what you desire at the end. And those things can change if you decide, if you have a strong enough reason why. So on the desperation side, let's take that story. You guys have heard the story of the mom whose kid got trapped under the car, right?
Yeah.
What did she do?
Lifted up
She lifted the car, right? She lifted like a 2-ton vehicle off of her child. That was a desperate why. She made that happen because she desperately needed to make that happen. All right? So when you find a point where you desperately need to make something happen, you're going to make it happen. You're going to overcome obstacles, objections, getting up earlier, staying up later, talking to more people, all the things that are involved, leveling yourself up with your knowledge, all the things that are required. Your why is going to push you there. You have to have the vision, right? You've got this multi-million-dollar computer up here, but if it's not connected to the power source, which is right here in your heart, in your chest, then you can't drive that vision. You can't drive that computer to give you the things that you want. You can't reach your goals, which lead you to your dreams, if you don't have that strong why. So my father suffered a heart attack at the age of 39 years old and had to retire early on a fraction of his retirement. And my mom, who I just told you was an RN nurse, she developed Hodgkin's lymphoma. Okay, she developed cancer, and she basically had to go through chemotherapy. She lost her vision in the process and could no longer be a nurse for the rest of her life. And so one of my whys right there was clearly that I would have a different path for not only my family, but for my kids as well, so they could have a huge head start in life. I saw the cycle over and over and over from great-grandfather to father and all this stuff, and why hasn't somebody changed it? Why hasn't somebody changed the cycle of where we are wealth-wise? And it's because we needed the right tools, right? We needed the right access. We needed to go on the path of what the wealthy people do, not what, like Jacob said, even the people making money, but they're still the broke people. They're still stuck in that box. Yeah. So guys, your why, your desperate why, it has to really hit you, okay? When I think of my sons, I have 2 sons. I have a 1.5-year-old baby and I have a 9-year-old son. And every day, I get to look them in the eye and tell them, this is what Daddy's doing right now to make sure that you have a better life. Okay, this is what I'm doing, and I guarantee you're not going to have to go work, at a movie theater or a restaurant or whatever it is. You're not going to have to go to community college. You can pick whatever school you want to go to. The opportunities that are available are way broader when you have financial backing to do so, okay? And you're responsible. You, right here, are responsible for making that happen. Nobody else. It's like Joseph says, if it's meant to be, it's up to me, right? And so you really have to dig deep. So what I want to do is just a quick exercise, and I have limited time, but I'm going to take 20 seconds out of that time. You all have notepads? I want to take 20 seconds, even if you've been a leader in this company, even if you've been here a long time. We don't revisit our why sometimes. We don't even write our why sometimes. And if you're brand new, I want you to write it right now. I want you to think of the deepest, most desperate why that you have. Who are you promising this success to? Who is going to rely on you to make this happen? And I want you to take that 20 seconds to write it down right now. Go ahead, guys. Again, I have my sons, I have my mom, I have my family, I have these people in the community that are relying on me to make sure that this thing happens. And so your why needs to be something that really tugs on your heart. And as you're doing that, guys, understand that this is the thing that's going to push you beyond your normal realm. This is the thing that's going to push you to be stronger and to stay up later and to fight through the tears and fight through the arguments that you have, maybe even with your spouse, about why you're grinding so hard in this business, okay? Because it's not easy. All right, it's not easy, but your why is going to push you to where it makes it 100% worth it. So that's about the time right there. So there's your why. If you want to finish it later, please finish it and expound on it. Definitely dig deep and find out what it is, because if you don't have that, you don't have a reason, because money's not the motivator. You guys understand that?
Yes.
Money is the facilitator to get us to the things that we want, okay? Right. It's like Ross Jardine. I'm a product of my product. Ross Jardine's book, the Money Miracle book, he says, people were complaining about money's not everything, and as Zig Ziglar says, no, but it's right up there with oxygen, right? But here's the thing, is that money enables us to have the opportunities that we need, like security for our family, okay, transportation, housing, opportunities like going to school, how we eat, the health that we have, all these things that you need to be funded to have for your family, okay? What you think is enough, don't play yourself, it's not, okay? You need more. Everybody needs to put themselves in a predicament where they can achieve more and have more financially. And when you do that, when you have the why to put you there, you'll develop rhino-thick skin, as JC puts it, to get to those levels. So that's going to be basically where I wanted to take the desire and the desperation side. And now I want to talk about fight or flight, okay? As you know, any animal in nature, they have this instinct, okay? It's the fight or flight instinct. And that fight or flight means basically when they're set with the situation, you're either going to fight for your survival or you're going to flight. You're going to run for your survival. One way or another, we have a survival instinct. But fight or flight. So think about that. Are you going to run to try and survive, or are you going to fight for it? Are you going to fight for your family? Are you going to fight for your family's survival and your family leveling up financially? And it's do or die. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get serious, and you got to almost get obsessed with it. You know, a lot of us, read these personal development books, Grant Cardone, different people, Anthony Robbins, and it's remarkable the stuff that you can acquire in these like 5 or 6, 7 or 8 books that a lot of us circulate. All of us have on our bookshelves. But it comes down to that, you guys, because if it's not hurting you bad enough, you're not going to do anything about it. You guys have heard that story, right? About the dog on the porch. There's a guy sitting, his dog's laying on the porch kind of moaning. His friend comes over, right? And the dog's like, moaning and just making like this really soft, like weird moaning sound. And the friend's like, what's wrong with your dog? And he's like, well, he's laying on a nail. He's like, well, why doesn't he move? He's like, well, it must not be hurting him bad enough. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. A lot of us are living with a nail sticking in our side, right? And which is not hurting bad enough because we're a little bit spoiled, we're a little bit fast food mentality, we're a little bit kind of hoping that something, wishing for something, all this whole while, you have it. You have that something, you just have to take massive action. But your why is really going to make that happen. So you guys have to really dig deep and know that when you have a why and you have somebody involved in it, like your wife, your husband, your kids, your mom, you need to go to them and look them in the eye. And you need to promise them what you're going to achieve. And I guarantee you, when you put that fact in concrete, when you put that on the table, you're not going to let them down. You might let yourself down, but you are not going to let the family members that you promised this to down. And so, you guys, it's really something where if you hold on to it and you revisit your why, your reason why you're doing this, nothing can stop you. Nothing can shake you. You're going to go shake up the world. Okay?
Yeah.
So when we as a team are all supporting each other on this level too, you guys, you got to realize that we're all on a common path. So your why is so important because people are relying on you and your team too. We need every individual to be so strong and have that posture. That way, when we go out and battle the world, which is exactly what we're doing, we're fighting. We're not going to flight. We're not going to run away. We're fighting for what we know we deserve, and you all deserve it. You all deserve to be wealthy. Okay? You all deserve more. You all deserve abundance, okay? I believe JC said, from abundance, he took abundance and abundance remained. It was in the Bible. And that's something that everybody needs to realize is that there's enough for everybody, and we're actually here to enjoy it, And so being at a job, just because you make good money, I work with people that have remarkable careers, and they still said, this is what I was looking for. This is the vehicle. Because guess what? I want to retire with more, but I want it to be earlier. I don't want to be 70 years old when I retire, guys. I want to be young and retired and be able to travel with my family and experience the world the way it's supposed to be experienced. So you guys need to dig deep, revisit your why, and really tap into what hurts you, and your why needs to make you cry, your why needs to make you fly. And with that said, I wanted to just say thank you so much to the panel back there. Everybody back there has inspired me and taught me, and you guys know that we're taking this very seriously. So get serious, don't play yourself. If you're serious about doing this, get obsessed. Get nuts about it and really take it to the next level because really it's up to you. No one's going to give this to you except for yourself. So I realized that. I got busy, I got to work, and I poured my heart into my team. I poured my heart into my business. I poured my heart into my trading. And the results are there. Why? Because success is watching. Remember that. Success is watching you. Okay, so if you're slacking, you're getting slacking results. If you're pumping it out and cramming that activity pipeline, as Rick Roberry says, then you're going to get it coming out the other end. Okay, but you got to be consistent, and you got to really, really have a reason why you're doing it. Okay, so you guys, I want you to really get your strength on, posture up, and we're going to take this to the next level. Right now, right here, this company has something that nobody else has. And if you don't take advantage of it right here, you're going to be one of those wish I would have people instead of I told you so people. Okay? So you decide. You decide. That's my time, guys.